Hey guys, so you're trying to figure out who are the best defensemen in the game right now to help solidify your decor. We're going to go over the best for each position as well as some other options, maybe on the cheaper end outside of the top three. As always, guys, I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments section. So if you've got some cards that have been kind of surprising, maybe some under the radar in the community, let me know in the comments section down below. And don't forget to subscribe for the most up-to-date NHL news, tips, and info. All right, guys, let's get into the current best cards on defense in NHL 22's Hockey Ultimate Team. All right, guys, so we are going to start with some honorable mentions on the right-handed side, and I'm not going to lie. The right-handed side of defense is wide open, and there is a ton of options for you. But we're going to start first with the 95 Adam Fox. I've mentioned this a number of times throughout the year, that smaller defensemen in NHL 22 are just not nearly as effective as they were in NHL 21. I'm not sure if this is the new stick-in physics. I'm not sure if it's just the new way that this game plays. It's a lot more clunky when players get caught in a defensive battle. They just kind of bump around, and it really gives you a disadvantage for having smaller defensemen in the defensive zone. I'm not gonna lie, offensively, Adam Fox feels great. I still use him on my team, and he costs so much that it's very difficult to take him out of your lineup, but his abilities aren't anything crazy. That being said, he is still one of the best right-handed defensemen in the game, and if you've got him on your team, it's very difficult to take him out unless you're absolutely loaded. I want to point out another right-handed defenseman in the honorable mention section, the 94 Adam Foote, which is probably a little bit surprising when you consider that usually it's master set players that end up on this list. Gold Truculence is one of the best in my opinion because not just for the ability to absolutely crush your opponents, it's the bumping off the puck, and again, when you're playing anyone that is cycling the puck, and a lot of these guys you're going up against now have 99 balance. Truculence allows you to bump players off the puck very easily and get that stumble animation that you're looking for. He also has shutdown, which we've talked ad nauseum, one of the best defensive abilities. So Adam Foote's 94 overall moments card is extremely good and ranks in that top 6 range among right-handed defensemen. Another really good option on the back end is the 95 Evan Bouchard Hut Champs collectible card. And he's got gold quick pick, which is not bad, but everyone has 99 defensive awareness now. The rest of his abilities just aren't great. That's what kind of keeps him down on the list. But it's 6'3" with 93 speed and 93 acceleration, and basically max everything else. You can't go wrong with this card. So if you've been saving power-up collectibles because you don't find any of the X factors worth it, this could be a decent card to dump those collectibles in if you are looking for a big right-handed defenseman. Another solid option for players competing in the GWC is the 93 Brandon CARLO, and it's crazy how good the Hockey Roots Master Set cards were, specifically the defensemen, way back in December, because they're still among some of the best, and it's really the fact that he's 6'5", and then all of his zone abilities, like Shutdown, Truculence, even Thunderclap if you're just taking point shots, but then Bouncer and Stick 'em Up are both very good as well. He's got 91 speed, 90 acceleration, and just a really good all-around card. The only downfall is he's only got 85 shooting accuracy on his slap shot, but with righties, you're really not taking a lot of point shots with righties. So just a really good option here still with Brandon CARLO. The only problem is that it's going to cost you about 500,000 coins because there just isn't any left in the market. And lastly, before we get into the top 3, we've got the 96 PK SUBBAN. Obviously, the downfall here is that he's not very big, which, again, I mentioned earlier, does cause issues. However, he does have gold truculence to make up for it, and I want to mention that this is an extremely fun-looking card to use. Anyone that's really fast with gold truculence is just a more fun card to use. The arcade ability that this thing does and activates is just a blast to try and use. But if you're talking about competitive players and players trying to give yourself the best advantage on the back end, PK SUBBAN just ranks outside the top 3. All right, so coming in at number 3 among right-handed defensemen is the 95 Nations of Hockey Alex Pietrangelo. So I personally use this card. He's 6'3", which is obviously great, and he does get distributors, so he has 3 skating synergies to get up to 95 overall acceleration, as well as 93 speed, and then essentially he's got 99 everything else. The only downfall to Alex Pietrangelo is that his abilities just aren't very good. However, there's going to be cards where you, especially on the back end, where you just don't activate any abilities if you've got a top end team. But this is a very good card nonetheless, and after me personally using him, I can say he's inside the top 3 right now. Coming in at number 2 is the 94 Style Icons Brent Burns. This is, again, another personal use, and again, talking to a lot of pro players and players at the top end of the game. Still one of the best. He's 6'5", 229. As long as you know how to play the rush correctly, he's extremely good at just hammering anyone in the defensive zone with gold shutdown as well. And if you are someone who can score and take shots with right-handed defensemen, there's not many out there, but if you do, he does have Seeing Eye and 1T if you want to activate that as well. A lot of people will focus on the fact that his skating is awfully rough for this stage of the game. I will say, I think it's because he's 6'5" and his reach is so long, he really makes up for that, but everything else being 99, he still ranks as number 2 personally among right-handed defensemen. And then coming in at number 1 is the 95 Korbinian Holzer. Again, this is the combo of competitive playstyle and very fun. So gold truculence, he's also got silver shutdown, and I'm not gonna lie, tape to tape really helps out on the back end if you are someone who takes a lot of point shots with your left-handed defenseman among righties. I found that this actually helps you from sending the puck outside of the blue line. I know a lot of you have experienced that. I experience it all the time because passing is just a mess in NHL 22. So this does help out on righties specifically, but he's fast, he's big, he's got a great zone ability, and he currently is the number 1 right-handed defenseman, in my opinion, in hockey. All right, on to the honorable mentions for left-handed defensemen. We're going to start with the 97 Keith Yandle. This is an incredible card just based on stats. He's basically maxed out in everything, and there's really an argument that he is one of the best. He's 6'1", so that's not like it's a knock. However, just compared to some of the other guys, I think that's where maybe his one disadvantage is. It's his zone abilities, in my opinion, that are keeping him out of the top 3, but nonetheless, this is still an incredible card, and since some of these other cards among the top 3 among left-handers are kind of difficult to obtain right now, especially if you're trying to qualify for the GWC, this is a very, very good card right now, and could arguably be inside the top 3. Now, much like PK Subban on the right-handed side, this 97 Ray Bourque is, again, an extremely fun card. He's 5'11", but he is 220, so he hits and bumps people off the puck pretty well, especially with silver truculence, 97 acceleration, 95 speed, and then 99 everything else. The only downfall is that he is a little bit smaller, and his zone ability off the rush is actually one of the worst because it doesn't activate correctly in the game. It, only does if it's the first shot after you enter the zone, and it's only below the face-off dot. So it's just a weird ability, and kind of gives him, again, a downgrade among the top 3. All right, on to the top 3. We're going to start with the 95 Zach Werenski. I've talked about him a lot recently, and again, this is going to come from feedback from my man Kesso, the co-host of my podcast. And it's really his gold 1T ability. So left-handed defenseman in this game, the way that the goalie plays point shots, it definitely allows for easier goals from the back end on the left side compared to the right. That being said, it's still very difficult. So if you don't score a lot of goals with defensemen, this is really not outside the top 3, and you'd probably put Yandle in my opinion. But he's 6'2", which is good size. He's got 96 body checking, 99 defensive stats. But the gold 1T combined with Seeing Eye, you can score a lot if you are good at point shots in this game. And just a really good, well-rounded card. He is a great offensive card, but again, if you don't score a lot on the back end, then I'd probably move on. Number 2 is no surprise, the 6'6", 96 overall Victor Hedman. Gold shutdown as well as the silver 1T and Seeing Eye. 93 speed, 92 acceleration. There's really not much else you can say. I mentioned this when the card came out, that he is going to be among the best cards in the game for the rest of the year. And anytime he gets an upgrade now, it just, furthers that. This is an incredible card, and if you're able to obtain him or you already have him, well, you're in luck because there is only one card better than him, in my opinion, among left-handed defensemen. So, just an absolute stud. And then coming in at number 1 is the 98 Braydon Coburn. This is one of the fastest cards in the game. 96 acceleration, 95 speed, but I don't know if it's his stride or what, but when you get going and get him up to top speed, he burns by almost every defender in this game. He's got gold stick him up, which is a very, very good ability for the cost. You can throw silver shutdown on him. Also has Seeing Eye and 1T, which is the best offensive combo. Just an all-around great card, and if you're able to make the team builder Braydon Coburn, you're in luck because he is probably, until Victor Hedman gets up to like 98 or 99, this is going to be the best left-handed defenseman in the game. So guys, that is going to do it for the defensive rankings right now currently in the game. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.